tomorrow weekend at around 10 o'clock. So we request, I know there are a few who will be leaving because of commitments in their dioceses and parishes. But our speakers, starting this afternoon to tomorrow, come from the Communications Foundation of Asia. This group, the Communications Foundation of Asia, has been doing cutting-edge work in terms of social media and the new evangelization. Our speaker this afternoon is well known to all of you because you have invited him even in your respective dioceses or regional catechetical groupings, and he finished his degree in social communications at the Salesianum in Rome. And he's a member of the Missionaries of the Sacred Heart. He'll be giving us input till around 5:30 this afternoon. Kindly welcome in our midst Father Stephen Cuyos, MSc.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, Father.
It is both a joy and an honor to be with you this afternoon. I'm so excited to be here. So, if you want a copy of the presentation that Ms. Bob and I will be giving this afternoon and tomorrow morning, it's best that you take a picture of this. That contains the link. And if you're familiar with QR codes, if you take a picture of this image here, just will bring it to the link and you're able to see the whole presentation. So this is case sensitive. So it is capital J. When you type it on the browser, it should be capital J, capital Y, 4C, M, small letter O. That's not 0, that's O. So http://goo.gl/JY4CMO. So you can even access it now so that you're able to follow my presentation. So it looks like this. If you say, so there's a difference in the colors, but they're basically the same. So there. By the way, I'm presenting from just Firefox. I'm only using one browser. Everything that I will be doing this afternoon is done using a browser. Most of you, when you make presentations, you're probably using Microsoft PowerPoint, but this one, I'm just using a web browser, which makes the computer run very fast because you're only using one application. So, if you're familiar with QR codes, you take a picture of this, and the QR code will give you the link of the presentation. Okay. Actually, I will be showing this to you at the end of the presentation too, so that I can proceed now. So with me is Ms. Bob Lopez. Have you met her?
Yes.
And of course, I'm Father Stephen. I belong to a congregation called Missionaries of the Sacred Heart. I've been a priest for around 16 years now. I'm originally from Cebu. I've always been involved in the media since I was in the seminary. I've been creating websites since the year 2000, so I've been making websites. And my background is in social communications. So I had undergraduate and graduate studies in social communications. And my major was television. So my main work now at Communication Foundation for Asia is giving trainings in the use of social media for evangelization, and also giving workshops on giving presentations and video and audio production and making websites. So Communication Foundation for Asia is best known for our magazines. So if you are in a Catholic school, you may be familiar with Gospel Comics, Pamada magazine, and other Bible-based supplementary reading materials. And Communication Foundation for Asia, or CFA for short, is also best known for the trainings that we facilitate. Like this one is called Apps for Education. We give trainings to teachers over the world about how to use applications, mainly social media applications that you can install on your Android device or iOS device that can be used in the classroom. We are also best known for the work give. We actually focus on how to use photography in facilitating retreats and recollections. And cyber wellness. This is a workshop, a training, a seminar on how to keep yourself safe and smart online. We've been giving this talk for about 6 years now in many schools across the country. Just last year, we were able to give this to around 25,000 students. And one of the latest workshops that we facilitate is called Workshop on Creating Awesome Presentations. If you're interested to go through this workshop, this will be done on May 16th. I will give you more details at the end of my presentation. So I'm here, Ms. Bob and I are here to talk about social media and the new evangelization. So what is the objective of this workshop? This is a workshop because we will actually be doing hands-on training. I will not just be giving talks. I will actually ask you to do things yourself. Because for me, the best way to understand things is for you to actually do them. The objective of this workshop, the main objective of this workshop, is to explore how we can use social media to evangelize the next generation. There's a big difference between us and this generation, the internet generation. These are young people who were born without the knowledge that there was no internet in the past. It's part of their life. It's something that we cannot ignore because they're using them in their everyday life. So the best way to reach out to them is to use the technologies that they actually use in their everyday life. This workshop will empower you to create meaningful images. Later on, I'm going to show you how to create images that you can use in your presentations, in your retreats, in your homilies. Not only how to create meaningful images, but also to make text, because when we give presentations, when we give talks, when we facilitate retreats, you don't always show pictures, but you also add text. We're going to show you how to make text exciting and at the same time impactful. And also how to use videos to reinforce your message. I'm going to show you where to find good videos, how to download videos with just one click, and how to properly use videos in presentations. And to play relevant and enjoyable games. In fact, tomorrow morning, Ms. Bob will teach you how to create Bible faith-based games that you can actually use in your catechetical ministries. Because today's young people love games. When young people hold their mobile phones, they don't usually use them for texting or for social networking. They usually use them for gaming. And one of the best ways to actually reach these young people is to use games. And there are many ways of creating simple games in a matter of few clicks. So we're going to show you how to do that, so that when you go back to your own ministries, you might want to include social games. They're called social games because these are games meant to be played with other people, not to be played by just one person in front of a computer. That's a very limited game. What we'll show you is how to create social games. So to play relevant and enjoyable games, so you can reinvent your social media skills and explain your ideas in your catechetical work using visual narratives. Make your audience understand your message better, and ultimately have a heartwarming and lasting impact. So are you excited about these things?
Yes.
So what workshops are we going to cover? This afternoon we're going to cover 3 workshops, and then tomorrow another 3 workshops. This afternoon we're going to cover the following things. How to search purposefully. Because most of you, when you go online and you search, one of the things that we do is we search. I'm going to show you that there are many ways of searching. Akala nyo na pag tinype nyo yung words, okay na yun. Okay, ang dami pang writing words. And this afternoon also, I'm going to show you how to design meaningful images. Because the main idea here is that today's young people communicate better using images. Dati, ang sikat na website ay Facebook sa mga estudyante. Ngayon, hindi na Facebook. Mas estudyante ngayon, hindi na sila masyadong active sa Facebook kasi nandun na lahat ng mga lola nila. So, hindi na siya bago. Hindi na siya bago. Nandun ng mga lola nila, mga tiyo. Lahat ng tao nandun na sa Facebook. Halos lahat ng Pilipino may Facebook account. Pati mga patayatan, meron na rin. Mga aso, may mga Facebook account. And then, young people, based on my experience working with them, especially in schools, is that they move from Facebook to Instagram. Are you familiar with Instagram?
Yes.
Instagram is a social networking site that allows you to share photos, just photos and videos. but not a lot of text. So today's young people communicate better with images instead of text. So we need to take advantage of this popularity, this popular technology. So we'll show you how to design meaningful images, not just any image, not just selfies, but how to really create meaningful images so that they are able to proclaim God's word just by posting images. And then also this afternoon, we'll create impactful messages. So we're going to design text in such a way that they become exciting and that binasa pala yung text pala art na instead of just using aerial fonts, for example, and other things. And then tomorrow morning, the workshop will be on how to use collaborative office. Collaborative office is another way of doing word processing, presentations, or spreadsheets. Instead of storing everything on your local computer, you can store it in the cloud, and it can be accessed anywhere, anytime, anytime. Tapos, yun yung example, basic example niyan, yung presentation ko na binigay ko sa inyo, yung link kanina, that is a presentation that is online. And then tomorrow morning, Ms. Bob will train you how to utilize engaging videos. You might be surprised that when you use videos, ang videos hindi lang to tell a story, but there are still other ways of using videos. And then also how to create compelling games. So, hindi ito mga games na, computer-based games. And you will be pleasantly surprised that you will actually be able to do it. You will be able to create games. May dala ba kayo? Laptops, tablets. It's best na dala nyo ngayon kasi mag-hands-on tayo. So, I give you time to get your gadgets. You can use your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop. Kasi mag-hands-on tayo. So, those things. And so that's basically what we're going to cover in this workshop, social media and new evangelization. But before we go into the workshop itself, I'll just give a short introduction to social media and then new evangelization, because this is the rage now, to use social media almost anything, even in parties, in classroom, everywhere you go. This is the byword now. You need to use social media. We've been giving training, Safe has been giving training in use of social media for evangelization since 2007. So we have a lot of experience in this area. Our presentations have grown from just from our own, research to being developed also by people we encounter throughout the process. By the way, if you have any question, like I might be introducing some new technical terms to you, you may interrupt me anytime. I am interruptible, if there's such a word. So you can interrupt me anytime. So here's a short introduction to social media and the new evangelization. The Catholic Church has a very positive view of the internet. And this is what I really like about our church. We are very advanced when it comes to the use of technology. Pero meron sa mga tao inisipin na palagi tayong huli in Catholic Church. Actually, we're always at the forefront of the use of technology. For example, when radio was invented in the 1930s, one of the first radio stations in the world is the Vatican Radio. When TV was introduced to the world, one of the first TV stations is Vatican TV. And when the internet became a part of the everyday life of people in the 1990s, one of the first websites in the world is actually the Vatican website, which was launched in 1995. The internet was launched in 1993. So in just a matter of 3 years, we had our own website. Many people were just discovering what the website is. The Vatican already has a website. So when podcasts and when tablets became popular, the Pope, as a church, we have been using these technologies. Because we see these technologies as tools for evangelization. In fact, according to Pope Francis, in his message for the 48th World Communications Day, the internet offers immense possibilities for encounter and solidarity. This is something truly good, a gift from God. So the internet is a gift from God. In fact, we might have discussed this also. And then one of the recommendations is that seminarians and those trained to become religious, if they want to be part of modern life and to be effective in their apostolate, they should know how the media work. Not only that they know how the media work, upon the fabric of society and the technique of their use, this knowledge should be a part of their ordinary. I'm not actually a Windows user. This is actually one of the few times that I'm using a Windows computer. I'm a Linux user. So it surprises me when there are many pop-ups. So indeed, without this knowledge, an effective apostolate is impossible in a society which is conditioned by the media. We need to know how the media is used, and not only that, but we need to be skilled in their use if we want to be effective in our ministry. One of the things that we need to affirm about our relationship with other people is that to be human is to be social. We cannot live by ourselves alone. We connect with other people. That is why we are always involved in a web of relationships. In fact, the late Pope John Paul II, who was canonized just last Sunday, said, to be human means to be called to interpersonal communion. So, gusto ko point out yan, because we are talking about social media. Tapos sa sa social media, the church officially has always called communications as social communications, not as mass media. Diba? Kasi ano ang difference ng mass media at social media? Ang basic difference na, kasi sinabi mo kasi mass media, ang emphasis doon yung tool, yung mga channels of communication, mass media, TV, radio, say you're reaching a lot of people. Sa social media, sa social communications, the emphasis is relationship, yung social aspect of communication, the social aspect of media. In fact, if you're going to ask, what makes social media social? Why don't we just call it media when you have to add the word social? What makes social media social is this, because the basic definition of social media is that it is media designed to be used and shared through social interaction. It is the social interaction component that makes social media social. How does the social interaction component enter into this process? For example, if you listen to radio, usual FM radio, there is no social interaction going on between you and the station. Or if you watch TV, unless of course if you call, if you're just watching TV, there's no social interaction going on between you and the TV. Pero, a good example of social media is Facebook. Di ba pag may Facebook account ka, it's unthinkable that you have a Facebook account tapos wala kang friends. Di ba it's just impossible. It's impossible to experience Facebook without friends. That is why Facebook is a good example of social media, because the social interaction component is a necessity. You cannot use the technology without interacting with others. So the social interaction component makes social media social. Traditional media, one-way communication, like you have radio, TV, you have newspapers. Because of newspapers, you can have copy paste. But of course, you know what I mean. You cannot interact with the newspaper. You cannot interact with other readers in the newspaper. Another characteristic of traditional media is that you become a passive consumer. So when you read books, when you read newspapers, when you watch TV, since there's no interaction going on between you and the technology, you're just a consumer of information. And another characteristic of traditional media is that the reach is basically local. So if you have a radio station, it is dependent on the range of that thing. So if you have a newspaper, it is dependent on the reach of the subscription. Whereas in social media, everything is interactive. Everything is inherently interactive. Think of websites, blogs, microblogs, wikis. Another characteristic of social media, which differentiates it from traditional media, is that you become an active producer. In Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you do not only consume information, but you also produce your own information. You can comment, you can like, you can favorite, you can friend people, you can unfriend them. So you can do a lot of things. You can forward the link. So you become an active producer of media. And the reach is global. A big difference now when you post something online, that post is made available to the public in a matter of seconds, and it's made available in real time and on a global scale. So who uses social media? So that's social media. Bakit ka natin kailangan ng social media? Sino ba gumagamit dito, di ba? Paano pa ba pala gumagamit dito? actually, in this Pilipinas, ang gumagamit ng social media are young people. And here's a list of the most visited websites in the country. As you can see, number one is Facebook, followed by Google, as in Google Philippines search, and Google International, YouTube, Yahoo, Blogspot, Wikipedia, Twitter, WordPress, and LinkedIn. I'm sure you're familiar with all these websites, right? So, nakita nyo, number one yung Facebook. In fact, sinasabi nga nila na, noong unang panahon lang, yung mga babae, pagkagising sa umaga, nagre-retouch. Ngayon, pagkagising nila sa umaga, nag-update ng status. Tapos, lahat pa naman nilalagay doon sa Facebook, di ba? Pagkagising ko lang, tututbrush na ako. Pupunta na ako sa school. Yeah. Tapos sa Facebook, lahat na lang nilalike. Namatay si Joe. Like, para bang, yes, namatay din. Hindi na. Ganun lahat na. Because we are so involved in what's happening there. And according to the latest statistics, karamihan ng magamit ng social media sa Pilipinas ay between 18 to 24. So if you want to isolate this target audience, people between 18 to 24, yun yung yun yung gamitin mo na tool for them, social media. Another one is that karamihan ng mga nagamit ng social media ay mga babae. Parang it's no wonder, no? Kasi parang mga babae mahilig sa makapagalitan ng mga babae dito. Mga gender bias statements. No, pero actually, this is not a gender bias statement, but most of the photos that are actually posted online are by and of women. Napansin niyo ba yun? Karamihan mga photos ng mga babae. Kasi mga photo galleries ng mga lalaki, hindi naman doon din mga babae pa rin. Iba yung pag mga lalaki nandun. Yung sa mga babae kasi, according to statistics, this is not a gender bias statement. Women really love to take photos of themselves. We've seen this in schools that we give trainings to, and most of them, they're not conscious about privacy. Ang mga estudyante, pupunta sila sa CR, tinatanggal nila yung uniform nila, and they take pictures of themselves, scan to interact. Since the media are often the only channels of information that exist between the church and the world, a failure to use them amounts to burying the talent given by God. So, we are not only asked, we are actually required, obliged to use these technologies. Because without using these technologies, it's like, not making use of the internet as a gift from God. It's like saying no to a gift. God has given us the internet as a gift, and if we refuse in using it, it's like refusing a great gift from the Lord. We are called to become fishers of men. Tapos, di ba, sinabing fishers of men, yung mga target audience natin ngayon, yung mga isda ngayon, yung proverbial fish ngayon, are using a lot of modern technology. So, pag may estudyante ka, sa catechetical work, makaramihan sa audience natin mga estudyante, pag binuksan yung backpack nila, yung backpack nila, ito yung laman, laptop, mobile phone, and tablet, di ba? And the best way to reach these people who use these technologies is to actually use also those technologies. Kaya, churches are virtually empty. If you really come to think of it, like in Manila, there are 14 million people, tapos ilan lang nagsisimba na Sunday, di ba? So virtually churches are empty, but places like this are always filled with people. That is why, if you want to bring the gospel today to these young people, is to be present where they are. And they are present in cyberspace. They are online. That is why the best way to reach today's proverbial fish is to go online and maintain an active presence there. Di ba pag isinila yung mga bata, ay ganito na yung kaharap nila agad. Flappy Bird, once they know how to use their fingers, they use their fingers for touch devices like this. Tapos, they play games almost anywhere, anytime, and with anyone on the planet. Kaya lang, minsan, ang problema ganito, meron sila mga branches na they do not talk with their seatmate, with their family members. Ano yung tawag sa ganito? Ang tawag sa ganito ay being alone together. They're alone, but they're together. So they use this gadget, they're watching TV, so they use multiple gadgets at the same time. While they're watching TV, while they're listening to radio, internet, the Facebook, and everything else. Ang problema, yung mga artista ngayon, ay pati pag-switch on ng laptop ay hindi pa alam. Pero, I mean, there are still many people who don't know how to use the technologies. Kaya para sa akin, the problem is, traditional evangelization fails to engage the net generation. Kasi, ang estudyante ngayon, gumagamit tayo ng laptops and tablets. Tapos tayo gumagamit pa rin tayo ng Manila paper and cartolina. So parang ang layo, no? Lagi ang difference na yung touchscreen natin, Blackboard. So, data max. So, para sa akin yung solution, it's a solution ito, is for us to use 21st century technologies, methods, and approaches. And that's why we are here. We're going to show you how to use these technologies. Okay? Patikim lang kasi we usually give this workshop for 1 week. So we are only given about a day. Imagine what you can do in a single week if you're given training. Like, mamaya pakita ko sa inyo about search. Yung search pa lang half day yun. Kasi ang dami pwede gawin talaga sa search. So, what does the net generation expect from you? Catechists, from priests, from evangelizers. A lot of things, like one, kasi ganito din mga estudyante natin yun, wala na laptop, wala na phone, nakikinig pa ng music. So dapat kasi kaya, gusto nyo na makinig, meron ka rin audio podcast, tapos meron ka rin application, tapos meron ka rin website. What do young people like this expect from you? A lot of things, like one, the net generation expects you to be digitally literate and to be digitally adept. Do you pass this test? Are you digitally literate or digitally adept? Are you well trained in the use of these technologies? Another expectation from these young people is that the net generation expects you to use real-time collaborative tools. Don't worry, because tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do this, how to use collaborative tools. And the net generation also expect to be evangelized through their digital devices, the digital devices that they actually use in their everyday life. So that's the challenge. We need to be educated in the use of these technologies. Because for young people, ano na yun eh, parang that's the air that we breathe. Parang palagi yung gamit example ganito. Di ba nag-aral ka ng literature, for example? Pag pumunta ka sa classroom, they don't talk about ball pens anymore, notebooks. They talk about how to write. Ganun din naman sa technology. Dapat, lumabas na tayo sa stage na we will not talk about computers anymore. We'll just talk about how we're going to use these technologies to proclaim God's word. Kaya kailangan natin ngayon, our next generation, kung meron ang audience natin ay net generation, ang kailangan naman natin ay next generation evangelizers. And the hope is that starting today, we will strive to become the next gen evangelizer. So ano bang kailangan ng isang next gen evangelizer para maging next gen evangelizer? For us, 3 P's yun. Ang first P, anong P kaya? Kailangan para maging next gen evangelizer. Kailangan pogi daw. One thing, of course, is prayer for life, because everything was received from our intimacy with God. Without our intimate union with the Father, our work wouldn't be anchored in something solid. Jesus himself prayed, and when Jesus prayed, he prayed because he wanted to express his intimate union with the Father. We need to develop a prayerful life if we want to be effective in our work. Sabi nga ni Pope Benedict XVI, being Christian is not the result of an ethical choice or a lofty ideal, but an encounter with an event, a person, and in this case, this is Jesus. Our faith is basically an encounter, and this makes our faith social because it's an encounter. You become part of a web of relationships, and this personal encounter with Jesus is the foundation of everything that we do. That's why we need to strive for personal holiness. By the way, lahat na nakikita niyo na pictures na ginamit dito, ginawa ko lang yan online. Lahat ito original. Because